Can somebody tell me who asked for some of these shows? Because I don't know where these are coming from. Hey, what's up, Nerd fam? It's your boy Gershon. I want to welcome you to Enter the Nerd. Today, I want to talk to you about some of the shows that about like a week ago they announced for Disney Plus, and as far as some of the Marvel lineup. Now, if you ever see my channel now, I'm gonna link it below. I actually made a list of some shows that Marvel should come out with, or at least some suggestions they should come out with in terms of building up their Marvel universe based off of what's already here. That would not only build up the characters they have, but expand to the other characters in the other parts of the Marvel universe pretty well, introduce some new characters you don't know, and even give Marvel on Disney Plus more legs, right? So I see a couple things they came out with, and I understand why they went with some of them in terms of like what they think the best business practice is, but in terms of how it really services the overall MCU, I kind of don't see it. And I do want it to grow correctly. I do think that having a nice little streaming network universe, like there's like the movie stuff, and then there's like all the shows that kind of link to the movie. I think that's actually a really cool way to storytell if you do it correctly. But I see some of these here, and it gets me worried because I don't really know like who asked for them, right? So here's a couple, right? Or here we can go through them. We have like I Am Groot, right? I guess for the kids, it's like an animated thing. It's just again, it's supposed to be cute, him running around. Like, what's the premise? What's supposed to be happening here? Whatever. That's a very Disney choice. Move on. Agatha, House of Harkness. Did people really love that character that much and they wanted to see her in a show? Because in that same show, because apparently it's being written by Jack Schaefer, who wrote WandaVision, which no, right? That's not good news. But I'm thinking in that same show, having Monica Rambeau have her own show, maybe name it, Spectrum or whatever you wanted to name her, and have her have her own show that builds her power setup and has her become more confident in a hero on the way to the whole Marvels. Wouldn't that make more sense? Because having Agatha have a show, like, what's going on? Are you going to show her? You're not going to show her be like a babysitter to Franklin Richards. You're not going to show that. Are we talking about her back in the Salem witch trials? What exactly this show is supposed to be about? Is it like more of a comedy? It's just like, who really? I don't understand how this really services the MCU. It just sounds like something that the producer or writer or whatever just, I like this character, so I want to make something about this. Like, regardless of what it does for the universe, I don't understand it, right? What I'm hopeful for is the Moon Knight show and She-Hulk. Now, Moon Knight, I'm looking forward to because of Oscar Isaac. He's a great actor. And I think he could definitely pull off like the multiple personality thing and the really crazy. I think he could really do that. If anyone could pull it off with their acting and their charisma, it's him. We still have to see because the writing is still like, a show's writing is still paramount. If it has bad writing, doesn't matter anything else, right? But I'm still looking forward to that. And then She-Hulk, because Tatiana Maslany is also really, really cool. My only worry with that is I wonder how they're going to size her up, because she's not a big person in general, but She-Hulk is rather large. Not necessarily, Bruce Banner Hulk large, but she's taller than most people when she transforms, and she is quite a bit muscular, kind of like a physique. Now, when I saw the little footage they showed of her like jumping and she's in the suit, she looks like she's in shape, but it still doesn't look as big as that. Like, I looked at it over and over again. I mean, me and my boy Taylor were talking about that, and I looked at it a couple more times. I'm like, she looks like she's like whatever it is in shape, but it doesn't look extraordinary as like. Still, She-Hulk doesn't look, once again, not too blocky, but she still looks like way above average. And I want to see what's gonna be. And I think she's fighting Titania, and even the actress for that character is a bit small. So it makes me wonder, like, should they have casted someone who was just a bit bigger, who could put on a little bit more size? I don't know. I don't know. But I think the direction of the show and its potential is still very good. So I am still looking forward to those two shows the most, right? Besides that, there's obviously What If season 2. If you like those stories, because obviously What If, even in the comic books, was not supposed to be comic book accurate. It was supposed to just be, a whole bunch of one-offs based on scenarios. And if you like that, it is what it is. I mean, whatever. We also have the Echo show. By the way, Echo I like as a character, but it's strange because she's going to debut in the Hawkeye show, which obviously makes sense for her later if she becomes Ronin at some point in the comic. But she's really a Daredevil like antagonist at first. So are we saying that that's already happened, or in the show is she gonna run into Daredevil, because she pretty much has like Taskmaster type powers, which is crazy because that means there'll be 2 women in the universe that have like Taskmaster abilities. Because we know in Black Widow that wasn't Taskmaster. I don't know who the hell that was. So we're gonna have 2 of them like that. But I like the actress. I mean, they actually got somebody deaf. I mean, it's not a requirement to have someone actually deaf play the character, but it's cool if you have someone who can act and actually bring an authentic feel to that, right? It is really cool. She looks the part. If she can be as physical as her, because remember, this is supposed to be someone who is also a martial artist and can mimic. Like I said, she does like Taskmaster stuff. And Kingpin is also very important to our story. So are they bringing these characters back? I wonder, right? I feel like I'm missing. Oh, Spider-Man, the freshman year thing, which is supposed to center on his, it's an animated show about how he was before the MCU, which, if you look at Civil War, they said that he was Spider-Man for 6 months before Robert Downey came in. So are we saying that Uncle Ben died within those 6 months? So are they going to explore that? Are they going to show like the whole Spider-Man bite, which I don't need the Spider-Man bite thing, but the Uncle Ben thing would be kind of cool. The problem is, if they introduce that stuff in this show, it'd be weird because we already have enough movies where it feels like that's not even really a factor. So I'm not sure why they're doing that now, 3 movies in, where it's almost written as if that part of his life doesn't even exist, to be quite honest. I don't really understand the point of it in that regard. But once again, if that's something that you want to watch, they want to make, okay. I can think of a lot of other characters that they could use that for, that actually tie into Spider-Man at some point, like, like White Tiger and stuff like that. And like I mentioned even in another video, Night Thrash and the New Warriors, like whole other teams that you could explore. I don't know. I don't see why this is going on this way. I know I'm missing a few. I know like Hawkeye is coming out next week. And my main weird issue with that is Kate Bishop is a clown. Like, she's a clown in this. Like they made her like this super fangirl, and oh my god, you have more arrows. Like, read the comic, that's not how she is. She's pretty serious. She's a victim of sexual assault. It's what spurs her to learn these type of skills. Jessica Jones is important in her story. There's a lot of really cool stuff. And even though she does have an affinity for Hawkeye because he saved her at some point in the comic, it wasn't like some crazy fangirl thing. But obviously they Disneyfied her character, which is what they do with all the Guardians of the Galaxy and stuff. It is what it is. It's a very strange direction. And once again, I want the Marvel Universe to do well. Cinematic, streaming, I want it to do well. But it's very weird what they're doing, like how they're doing it right now. It's like, it's really, really funny, or they're going super childish, or they're just choosing characters that it seems like the people who are writing it like, but it's not really to service anything but the people who are making it. And I know I'm missing it. And there's like the worlds of like Wakanda thing, and I don't really know what it's about. I don't really know what they're going with that yet, right? And obviously there's Ironheart and Miss Marvel. Both characters who, it's confusing how they're going to do it, because obviously they already announced that a while ago, but Miss Marvel is like an Inhuman in the comics. So I guess they're going to have to kind of TV retcon that and give her, I wonder how she's going to get her powers here. And obviously she looks up to Captain Marvel, and she even has the Miss Marvel name that Carol Danvers had before. One of the reasons why I really can't, I don't really dig Miss Marvel and Ironheart is because they really would not be here if it weren't for a previous hero, right? They really wouldn't. Like, Ironheart reverse engineered one of Iron Man's suits, and he even becomes like AI in her suit at some point. Now, who she is, being a genius who can build like armor, there's nothing wrong with that. But I guess if it wasn't directly tied into Iron Man, I really wouldn't have a problem with it. Same as how Miss Marvel was just like a huge big fan of Captain Marvel. It's like you just made copies of these other heroes. Except obviously Miss Marvel is different in terms of her power set and stuff like that. But once again, if the other ones didn't exist, they would not exist. Which is why I'm not really all that interested in those shows. That's just me. If you are, that's cool. And no, just in case you're a straw man, anything, it's not because they're women characters, because in that other video I'm talking about, there are plenty of women who deserve a show. Like I said, Monica Rambeau, tons of people on Alpha Flight. The X-Men has tons of them. There are so many characters, like Daughters of the Dragon. There are so many characters that are women, whatever, LGBT, all that deserve shows, and I'm not really sure if they're going that route. Just whatever they feel like doing at this point, right? But yeah, I know I might have missed a couple, but let me know. Whatever I miss, put it down there. We'll discuss it. Let me know what you think. Do you think this is a good direction? Are there some things that you would have wanted to see? Let's talk about it below. Until then, Enter the Nerd.